Need a shoulder to cry on.
Hi friends, welcome back to my kitchen and welcome if you are new. I'm excited that you're here today. If you're new around here, I'm Cheryl, this is Table Full of Joy, and we are still in Pantry Challenge. Hubby and I have been craving tomato soup and a grilled cheese sandwich. And so I'm gonna do that tonight, but we're gonna try something and see if this works because as I said in Pantry Challenge, I'm not grocery shopping. I don't have any tomato soup in my house, but we're gonna make some. So I'm excited to see if this actually works, how well it works, and so let's just see what we can do with what we've got in our pantry, in our fridge right now to make this work. We still have some homemade bread. I made this last week. It is amazing bread. It's phenomenal. It's so good. And this was what made hubby say, I want a grilled cheese sandwich and tomato soup. So I'm going to try to make some tomato soup with what I have. I have 2 tomatoes. I've got part of a red onion. I have a couple of carrots. I don't have any celery. I've got some tomato paste. I have a couple of cloves of garlic. And so we're gonna roast up our tomatoes, our garlic, and a little bit of this red onion in the oven. We're gonna roast that at 400 degrees. See if we can get some good caramelization on this stuff. And I have a cooking blender. I have made tomato soup in this before when I had all of the ingredients to make a homemade tomato soup. It does a great job, so that's what I'm gonna do. But I wanna first roast these tomatoes and, oh, and I also forgot, I have some roasted red peppers. So I love the Pacific brand roasted red pepper and tomato soup. That's one of my favorites. So I found these in my refrigerator. I thought, let's throw these in the soup and see how it works. So I don't need to roast those. They've already been roasted. We're just gonna roast our carrots, our tomatoes, our red onion, and our garlic. And then we're gonna put all of this in a blender with a little bit of chicken stock, and we'll finish it with some heavy cream. And let's see if we can make some tasty tomato soup, which is what we have in the pantry. All right, friends, so we don't need those 2 things right now. Those can sit back there for a second until we get all of these veggies prepped and ready and on our baking sheet. So I put a little bit of foil on my pan because I don't want to have to scrub this tonight. I'm going to move my blender up here real quick so it's out of my way, at least until I'm ready to use it. Put my pan over here. I'm going to just take the skin off of this garlic. It can stay whole. I'm not worried about that because it's going to get blended up in the blender anyway. You grab a knife. Our oven is preheated now. Let's see if we can get this skin off of this. This pantry challenge has been kind of fun, getting to see what I can make, how long I can make it without going to the grocery store, without shopping for anything. And so far we've done really well. We've actually done pretty good with having some really tasty dinners. Give this one more little push. See if I can get this down here cracked. I love watching everybody else that's doing the Three Rivers Pantry Challenge. It's kind of fun getting to see what everybody else is making for their meals. I'm just gonna quarter these tomatoes. And my carrots, I'm just gonna leave the peels on because they're just gonna get blended up anyway. So let's see, I don't think I need all 4 of those. So let's just do these 2. And carrot is going to cut some of the acidity that is in tomato soup. I'm gonna give these a quick wash. All right, so I'm just gonna cut these into some decent sized chunks. Put these on our pan. And I don't think that I need all of this onion. I am not a huge onion fan. I'm really not. But I do know that you have to have a little onion for flavor. And as I said, all I have right now is a partial red onion. So that's what we're going to use. Just put this in the garbage. All right, I'm gonna trim off the end, and I think I'm just gonna do 2 chunks like that, should be plenty. And I'm just gonna cut those into some big pieces, and we'll put that right there. Let's get some oil. We're just gonna do some extra virgin olive oil right on these things. We're gonna do just a little bit of Herdman's real salt. We've got a little bit of dried parsley. Let's put a little bit of that on here. We've got a little bit of dill. Let's put a little bit of dill on there. All right, I thought I had some Italian seasoning. I can't find it, so we're just gonna do some dried basil. We're just gonna toss these things together. Just get everything coated in the oil and the herbs, and we're gonna throw this in our oven at 400. We're gonna roast it for probably, I would say, about 20-25 minutes until the veggies are nice and tender and everything's got good color on it. All right, friends, here is our roasted tomatoes, our carrots, our garlic, and our onion. We're gonna get these put into our blender. We're gonna put a little bit of chicken stock in this to give it a little liquid to get going. And we're gonna get this blended, and let's see if we can make some tomato soup with just what we've got on hand. All right, we've got our blender. Let's go ahead and put all of our stuff from our pan in here first. Got our veggies in here. I'm gonna go ahead and put some of these roasted red peppers in there. Like I said, I love roasted red pepper and tomato soup. It's one of my favorites. And I don't need a ton of soup, so that's why I was glad that I didn't have a ton of tomatoes. But we are gonna put some of these roasted red peppers in here. I think I'll put a little bit of the juice. About that much. We're still gonna put in some chicken stock. Or actually, it's better than bouillon is what I use. Got a little bit of tomato paste. Let's put a little bit of tomato paste in here. So we're just gonna put in, we don't need very much. We're just gonna put in just a little bit of our better than bouillon, because there's not gonna be a lot of soup. It's gonna be enough for probably 2 bowls, which is all I need. Let's put a little bit of water. All right, I'm gonna use the heated, heated puree feature on here. And that's what I'm gonna move this so you guys can see what I'm doing. So this has a heated puree feature on this blender. So that's what I have it set on. So we're just gonna let this, it's gonna cook it and puree it all at the same time. We're gonna let it do its thing, and then we're gonna finish it with some heavy cream once we get our flavors on point.
So let's come together.
And so we have our tomato soup. It smells amazing. I really love the flavor that it has. But I am gonna put it in my pot over here on the stove. It needs some adjusting to the seasoning just a little bit. It needs a little more salt. We are gonna put a little heavy cream in it, but we're just gonna put it into a pot on the stove and heat it up there and do some changes to the seasonings in it and try to get that adjusted to get it to where Tony and I like it. So right here, we're gonna just go ahead and adjust our seasonings. It does need some pepper. And turn my heat on. Hubby said it needed a little bit more salt, so we're gonna put in a little bit more of our Redmond's real salt. And I think we're gonna add a little bit more dill and a little more basil. Since we blended all those up in the soup, I think it can stand to have a little bit of fresh put in it, just to kind of give it that bright flavor that we want. Let's put in a little bit of basil. And I think I'm gonna put in a little bit of dehydrated onion. That's what I put in my canned, or my, when I buy the Pacific brand organic tomato soup, I always put in a little bit of dehydrated onion. And we're gonna put in a little bit of heavy cream, because that's what I do to my regular tomato soup. We've got our heat on. We're just gonna let this kind of sit here on the stove, heat up, let those herbs kind of soften and kind of melt all the flavors together in this soup. And we're gonna come back and taste it again after that. But this looks really good, friends. I am pretty impressed with what we were able to do with just some things that we found in our pantry to make soup out of. It looks really good. We are gonna make some grilled cheese sandwiches with our homemade bread. I cooked a ham a few weeks ago. What we had left, I put it in the freezer. And so I pulled that out of the freezer, and that's gonna give us some delicious grilled ham and cheese sandwiches to go with our homemade soup. So we're gonna let this heat up and we'll come back and taste it. All right, friends, hubby just tasted the soup. He is happy with the way it tastes. We're gonna make our grilled cheese sandwiches. I went and sliced up some of my homemade bread. I will leave a link in the description box for you guys for that video. We have some ham that I pulled out of the freezer from a dinner that I did a while back. We put the leftovers in there. So I went ahead and I cooked that. That's why this pan's got stuff in it. I went ahead and heated that ham up in the pan because it had been frozen and it had quite a bit of water. So I needed to get that water out of it so that it didn't absorb into our bread. So I may have too much ham here, but that's okay. We're gonna make these delicious ham and cheese sandwiches. It's very hot. All right, let's get some more. Get some ham on this one. This was amazing ham. This was super good. This was just one of those spiral sliced hams from Costco. All right, got one extra piece, but that's all right. I don't want to overload these sandwiches. We're gonna turn our burner on, but I don't want it on super high because I don't want to burn my bread. I want my bread to just get nice and toasty. I want my cheese to melt. The ham is already hot, so that's gonna help with that whole process. So we're gonna let these cook and we'll come back when they're ready. Okay, friends, here is our grilled ham and cheese sandwiches with our homemade bread. We're gonna cut these up. So here is our sandwiches. Cut these in half. Look at that, friends. Here's one sandwich. The bread held up really, really well to being toasted. It looks really, really good. Here's our homemade pantry tomato soup that we made. All fresh ingredients in this. This is going to be super good with our sandwich. It just goes to show you that you can be super creative in your kitchen and come up with ways to make something that you're craving when you don't have everything that you need, or you don't have a can of soup. Just go through your pantry, go through your fridge, find something and make a delicious soup. All right, friends, here is our delicious bowl of pantry tomato soup, our delicious grilled cheese sandwich with our homemade sourdough discard bread that we made. We're gonna go enjoy this dinner. It's a cold and rainy night now. We're done with the ice, but now we have rain. And so we're gonna go enjoy this comforting meal. Super excited to go eat this. We just appreciate all of you guys that come and support us, and your love and your support and your comments. Everything means so much to us. If you have not yet, hit that subscribe button for me. So we'd love to have you a part of our YouTube family. Hit that notification bell so you're notified every time we upload a new video. And friends, we're so close to our 1,000. Keep sharing the channel with your friends and your family. Tell everybody you know about it and have them come see what we're doing. And friends, we will talk to you in the comments. Have a great day and God bless.